Good evening, everyone. Welcome to closing comments here on December 4th. Let's jump right into our charts and see what happened in the markets today. February live cattle up first. Today we did see more upside across the cattle market as both feeders and fats continued their rally. We are seeing a little bit more bullish signs of life there in that feeder market, which we'll be getting to in a moment, but this live cattle market is still lagging behind a little bit. We are still trading in bearish territory here below that 50-day moving average and our 20-day high here at 228.17. Those are going to be some key levels to watch here to the upside if the bulls want to get a potential trend reversal in line. Close for the week tomorrow above that 50-day moving average and bonus points for that 20-day high. We'll get that reversal going and see a new uptrend start to roll here into year end. However, with this market still trading below that 50-day average, we should see some resistance here at some of these prior value area highs. Look for the sellers to try and defend that 50-day moving average tomorrow. If they're able to balance out and get a weak close tomorrow, we could see some more downside carry into next week and see this market start to head back towards these lows. However, in the meantime, watch these that 50-day moving average and that 20-day high. Those are going to be some key levels to the upside here for any sort of reversals like we're seeing over there in that feeder market. But this live cattle market has a little bit more work to do, and we'd like to see a little bit more structure be created here to trade around before we commit to any directional moves. We'll have to wait and see how we finish tomorrow, so I encourage everyone to slow play this thing and take their ammunition into next week. Next up, we got our January feeders on the board. Like I was saying, this feeder market has shown a little bit more strength here as we did close above that 50-day moving average and at a new 20-day high today. Price did briefly poke above both of those levels yesterday, but settled back. But we did get some nice bullish follow through here today with an open at that 50-day moving average and closing right there at 336.80. We still have some overhead supply here, up here towards 340 and all the way up here through this gap to 348. Look for the sellers to try and push this market back, but we are seeing the first signs of a trend reversal here. So if this thing does balance out and pull back, we want to see a higher low get put in, and could be a good spot to start some new potential uptrend positions. Bonus points if we get that live cattle market to turn and follow, but we are seeing some good signs of life here in the feeder market at the moment, and we're going to have to wait and see how we finish tomorrow for the week. But if we're able to finish the week here at a new 20-day high and above that 50-day moving average, look for this feeder market to get a nice rally underway and continue chewing up here through that gap from the weekend of October 24th to the 27th. Next up, we got our March corn futures on the board. Not a whole lot to be said about this market as it just continues chopping here in about a 10-cent range, back inside that prior day's range, finishing the day right there around 446. Not much else to be said. Look for this choppy sideways action to continue as this corn market has been comfortable here in between 440 and 450. Expect that range action to continue tomorrow and in the next week. Crude oil prices with a little bit of more upside here today, getting a close above these prior day highs and that bull pivot. We are still trading below that 50-day moving average here. So like we've seen here over the last couple months, we have seen 4 different tests of that 50-day moving average that continue to get sold. How we finish tomorrow will be a key, will be an important level for this market here at that 50-day moving average. If we're able to continue with the upside tomorrow and get a close above 50, we could see this thing just continue to trading sideways here and stay pretty close to that $60 mark. However, if this thing does flush back down below that 20-day moving average tomorrow and get a weak close for the week, we should see this thing continue to drift down here towards the mid-50s. However, very little volatility remains in this crude oil market, so look for this thing to continue chopping up in some tight daily ranges and stay pretty close to that $60 mark. Next up here, we got our index futures. Continue to see good signs of life here from the bulls here as well. Not a whole lot of major upside, but it looks like this market is continuing to build some pressure here over the last couple of days. We did get that follow through day here, not today, but the day before on this Dow index. So we are seeing this uptrend getting back on track here. Looking like we're seeing that as well here in the S&P and the NASDAQ. However, we haven't gotten an official follow through day, but we continue to see good signs of life from the bulls. See them defending these weekly lows and continue to put pressure up here with some tight daily ranges on some of these prior week highs. Look for, and so far here tonight in the evening session, we are getting some good upside, and so we'll have to wait and see if we carry this action into tomorrow. A good strong finish tomorrow above 1%, above a 1% gain would have this market rocking and rolling and get this Santa Claus rally started and take this upside into year end as this market will continue to look for some new all-time highs. good signs of life here from the bulls. No confirmation of that follow through day yet, but we are definitely seeing some good signs of life and looking like this market showing some constructive action. Look for the upside to continue and get this big picture uptrend rolling once again to new all-time highs. That's all we got for this week. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in this week. We will see you this weekend for our Market Watch update. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.